Oh, wow. My hair is just all over the darn place. Well, hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great morning so far. I'm a little bit early coming in today onto the midday with Cassandra. And so I am coming to you from, well, Mudlick Road in Hardy, Kentucky. It's a holler. Yeah, it's all a holler around here. Everything is. And that's just the way it is in these hills. And Hatfield, McCoy, Feud Country in eastern Kentucky. Yes, indeed. These are hollers around here. Appalachia all the way, right? Hillbilly country. Actually, I find the people to be less hillbilly around here than some people who say they're hillbillies and they aren't. They aren't really. But anyway, sorry about that. I wanted to just jump into something. There's two things really, but the big thing right now is that if you're at all familiar with Matt Walsh over on, let me just share a page really quickly and you'll see what I'm talking about here. Da, 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 da. Share. Should be coming up about right now. Yes, there we go. So Matt Walsh, that's Matt Walsh. He has a Twitter account and you can find him over here. Just go to Matt Walsh blog. Check it out. Check it out. You'll find out that he is indeed exactly who he says he is. He is a theocratic fascist, but that label, if you spew that at him, it will have absolutely zero impact because he knows that's who he is and he relishes that idea and he actually believes it. He thinks that those people who are, no, well, this is actually me saying something that I haven't heard him say exactly, but it's me interpreting what he's been saying. The people who are Christian nationalists in the country, well, they don't have the same guts and honesty that Matt Walsh has. Matt is able to look in the mirror and go, yeah, I'm a theocratic fascist. And what does that mean? Well, that means that what he wants to do is create a ruling theocratic body over the governance of this country. And you think that that's actually not what he thinks? Well, yeah, it is actually what he thinks. And why is it a problem? Well, for one thing, he's got a massive audience, which tells me that there's a lot of people who agree with him in this country, which is crazy, just plain crazy. We are a pluralistic, multicultural society here in the United States. We're a melting pot of everything around the world. And nothing in our founding actually said you got to do it the way Matt says. Because there are 45,000 different versions of Christianity in the world today. And Matt is just one of them. But he wants to, if you follow everything he's been saying, you go onto Twitter and you find out how he reacts to things. He talks to women in a certain way. He does not think that women have any business being in combat roles in the military. He doesn't think women have anything to do with law enforcement, particularly if they're out on patrol or they're breaking down doors or they're leaders of the police departments or anything like that, or the fire departments. He has railed against women leaders in every capacity. He wants them in the kitchen, fixing the food, submitting to the husband, and bearing babies. That's what he wants the women to be doing. And that's his religious belief. He is entitled to believe those things, folks. He's entitled to believe that. There's no problem with that. None whatsoever. However, it's dangerous for it to be so well accepted in this country. And that's the problem, because even though we already have examples in the world of what theocratic fascism is, don't we? You know this. You and I have seen this. While what Matt thinks of and as his theology is nowhere near the same as many of the others in the world that are actually operationalized, the patterns and the techniques and the things they want to do are the same. Subjugate the women, subjugate any minorities, tell them that if you have to dress a certain way, behave a certain way to be a real man or a real woman, to identify those roles in those places and actually tell you how to live and behave in this country. So that's what Matt wants to do, folks. And if you go to the website, let me get off of this thing. I'm going to stop sharing it for right now. So you go over to the website. Let me pull that up. I should have that already here. Okay. you go to the website and pick on the blog section or the live streaming or anything like that, you'll see lots of different things talked about on there. And Matt and many others, Christopher Rufo and different ones from the Manhattan Institute and from the Claremont Institute and from the Heritage Foundation and from Hillsborough College, Hillsdale, I think, or whatever it is. It's Hillsdale College. I don't know. It's been around a long time. They're imposing their will upon the whole religious spectrum in the country. So I don't have a problem with you believing what you want. I don't have a problem with you taking what you believe into your work or your home or your synagogue or your church or your mosque. I don't have a problem with any of that. None whatsoever. But there are people in this country who don't agree with you, and you do not have the right to impose yourself, shove your theology down another person's throat. Matt and many others in and out of government. Matt's not in government. He's just a talking head like what I'm doing. So he wants to return to a patriarchal order in this country where the men run it all, the women are subjugated. They're told to have babies and fix the food and take care of the house and take care of the man. And the man goes out and does what? I don't know. Whatever the heck they want to do, right? I mean, that's what they do over in Iran. That's what they do in Afghanistan. They've got the women subjugated, but the men can do whatever they want within certain limits, of course. But that's the way theocratic fascism works, folks. That is theocratic fascism. And that's what Matt wants in this country. He wants to be able to do that. And all you have to do, we've got to find a way to put a stop to it. We've got to find a way to end it, or at least to calm it down, to get control over this so that it does not sweep over the whole of the country. So what I'm going to do right now is just go over and show you how we can push back against this. This is the key. This is the key, because we have to be able to push back in a way that actually will work and accomplish things. So let me just go here and share screen again, because I do have that listed too. Okay. All right, so I'm going to increase the size of this so it's a little easier to see, I hope, on the monitor. Okay. How can we push back against his appeal? Well, he's appealing to a large number of people, folks. This is a danger. It's a threat to our country that people want to impose their theocratic fascism on the whole of it. So, calling him a fascist is not going to work. He knows he is. Christian nationalists know they are too, but they don't have the same guts and self-awareness that Matt does. So I'm focused on Matt, but it's the Christian nationalist, the Christian dominionist, such as Pete Hegseth, such as J.D. Vance, who is Opus Dei, such as the Heritage Foundation, also Opus Dei, with Kevin Roberts. So you're looking at how to push back. They know who they are. They are not offended by any of that. They find our conversation focused on them just welcome, because we're spending so much effort talking about them and their beliefs. They get a lot out of that, absolutely. It's like me saying over on the Five spends the Five and Laura Ingraham and the whole Fox News propaganda machine. It is propaganda, by the way. They ought to be registered with the SEC. The FEC, Federal Election Commission. That one, not SEC. Yeah. So they ought to be registered with the Federal Election Commission, because they're always promoting Republicans somewhere, because, they're just another arm of the Republican Party. Then the advertising goes to them. They shouldn't have advertising like that, right? They shouldn't have that, because they are just promoting Republican Party. Okay, so anyway, I digress. So we need to be stopping or focusing on the consequences. Let me see if I can increase the size of that. You can find this, by the way, over on the website. Just go over there to Cassandra-LLC.com and you'll find this. Focus on the consequences. Instead of getting bogged down in debating the term theocratic fascist, Focus on the tangible outcomes of his vision. What will be the outcome if he's allowed to do the things he wants to do? And if you don't think that this process is already underway, well, there is a religious council that advises the president. That religious council consists of people like Paula White. I think Kenneth Copeland used to be on it. I don't know if he is this time around. But these people think they have the right to dictate to the country how morality ought to be presented and what religion you should follow and whether or not you're going to go to hell or not because whether or not you accept Jesus. Their version of it. And very infrequently they talk about all the red letter stuff in the New Testament. Very infrequently, because that's just so socialist-like. So focus on consequences. What will be the outcome of these decisions? Champion the alternative, the virtues of pluralism. Champion those things. We must do more than just play defense. We need to make a passionate, affirmative case for the benefits of pluralism and pluralistic liberal democracy. This means celebrating the fact that people of different faiths and backgrounds can coexist peacefully in this country and do. Expose the inherent contradictions. Walsh and others often use the language of freedom and liberty to critique what they see as liberal overreach. The key is to demonstrate how their proposed solution, a theocratic state, is the ultimate form of overreach, crushing individual liberty in the name of state-enforced morality. The ultimate contradiction in their platform is advocating for a free society that would be profoundly unfree for a majority of its citizens. Those are the things that we need to be focusing on. We don't have to worry about the fact that he knows he's a theocratic fascist. He knows that. It has no impact on him whatsoever to put that label on him because he's already labeled himself as such. So you're just wasting your time. And I am too. But I'm trying to point out something here. Expose the inherent contradiction. So here's what you see. You see people pushing for religious liberty and freedom and all that. We need more religious liberty in this country. And we're seeing a lot of rulings made by the Supreme Court that enforce that idea and push it further and further. But the problem is the one that they're pushing is the one that Matt believes in, or at least a close approximation of it, like Opus Dei on the Catholic side. So these are the things we have to be aware of. We have to expose those contradictions. They're not about freedom per se. They want the freedom to do what they want to do to the whole of the country, whether or not you agree with them or not. That is the fascist part of this. So we have to expose those contradictions. They're not about freedom. They're just about freedom for themselves. When Matt goes down to Florida, I did this on July 23rd, actually did a video. I don't know if he was down there in Florida or not, but he did a video about Representative Maria Salazar. And I think she's from Miami, some part of the community there. But anyway, he goes in and tells her that she is not an American because she is taking time to defend and protect immigrants to this country, illegal or legal, and telling her that she needs to go back home. Well, she was born in the United States. She was born in Miami. Okay. She's a representative and a duly elected representative. The people in her community elected her there. Matt didn't. So anyway, you have to expose those contradictions. I'm not going to spend any more time than this on it. This evening, I do want to jump into one other topic, and this topic today will be, I know what it is. I'm getting old enough to have fun with the fact that I kind of skip over memories sometimes. Oh my God, that's funny as crap. So I'm going to be talking about some things this evening that are really pertinent to what we're dealing with right now. And this is what it is, okay? There's a great divide in this country that is intellectual division, an academic division. And actually it's a real people where they live, work, and play division right here in the middle of the country, in flyover country. There's this division that's being perpetuated on all of us, okay? That division revolves around the idea that I'm going to tell you this story here, and I've got all of this stuff to back it up, but they're all the ones who would have backed it up no matter what. They had no opposing views in it. And the right does it, the left does it. Both sides do these things. They gather in those resources and papers and academic journals and opinion pieces and all that support their view, and then they regurgitate them in the hopes that it can persuade the whole country to follow along with them. The right does the same thing. They find all the opinion pieces, all of the people out there like Matt Walsh agrees with a lot of the stuff they agree with, Christopher Rufo, different ones. They find all these writers, including, let's say, one from the UN who just recently who put out a statement saying that women needed to be protected from those transgender people when the real threat to women being protected are men, not transgender women. I'm talking gender and not sex specificity. So anyway, I'm going to talk more about that because the way to solve that problem, there's a lot of biases in this country, right and left, that we need to fight against. How do you do it? Well, you have to have a little adversarial collaboration. And whenever you put something out on the left, if you do not have somebody who thinks differently than you from the right in that conversation, in that room with you to do this work, then you're doing the nation a disservice. To the right side, if you do not have somebody on the liberal progressive side challenging your views on things, whether it is scientific or not, whatever that view is, if you don't have that, you're doing the country a disservice. We'll be talking more about that tonight. 6 p.m. show. Come back, see me. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.